Finnish journalist, I'm probably killing his name. He says that the story goes that you spent a night in Stanley Hotel's room 217 in Colorado way back in 1974 and got the inspiration for The Shining after some ghostly incidents.
Well, that's bullshit. That's totally bullshit. Yeah, no, is it truth or is it bullshit? It's bullshit. But it was the Stanley Hotel. But there were no ghostly happenings of the sort that this journalist is talking about. It was a ghostly experience. And what happened was, my wife and I had a little girl when we were married, and we had a little boy who came along shortly after that, who's now Joe Hill, who writes his own novels, and I'm very proud of him. He's a terrific guy, but of course I would say that anyway, because I'm his dad. But what I'm trying to say is we had children young, and our honeymoon was a weekend in Boston, which we could ill afford. So 4 years into the marriage, we hadn't had any time off. And we were living in Colorado. I was writing really nothing in particular at that point. And we had my wife's younger sister with us as sort of an au pair. And she said, why don't you guys take the weekend for yourselves and just go somewhere, and I'll take care of the kids. So we got in the car and we went up the mountains, you know, and we came to this beautiful hotel in Estes Park, the Stanley Hotel. And we were very much fish against the current because everybody else was checking out and we were checking in. And I asked if we could stay the weekend, and the lady said, you can stay if you can pay cash. We sent all our credit card slips back to Denver. And I had traveler's checks for the weekend, so we stayed. And we were the only guests of the hotel. And it was creepy because the wind was howling outside, and we went into the dining room, and all the chairs were up on the table, and the music was piped in, and it was very, very strange. And we had some wine, and we had a nice dinner. As nice a dinner as you can have when you're in this huge dining room and there's nobody else there. And my wife went back to the room, and I stayed and soaked up the atmosphere a little bit, and then I started back to the room where we were staying, and I passed one of those old canvas fire hoses on the wall, and I thought, gee, what if that turned into a snake and came after me? And by the time that I got back to our room, I had the whole book in my head, but there were no ghosts or anything, but it was a very interesting and ultimately profitable weekend.
Next question?
Okay. Hello, Alexandre Poncet from